United States Air Force admits that between 1952 and 1969, they conducted a secret study called Project Blue Book. Its purpose was to determine if UFOs posed a real threat to the American people. Project Blue Book concluded that they did not, and since 1969, the Pentagon has denied participating in any other UFO study. But ufologists believe this is a lie, that secret projects with names like Moondust, Ozma, and Aquarius continue to this day. Does the United States government know more about these UFOs than they're telling us? Are top secret projects withholding information from the American people? There is mounting evidence that UFOs are considered a serious threat to our political and military stability. Sightings has investigated thousands of pages of documents, all written by government employees, all on the subject of UFOs. And there are charges that this is just the tip of the extraterrestrial iceberg, that what we are entitled to see through the Freedom of Information Act is only a fraction of the incendiary material this country is hiding.
Secrecy is not designed to keep the enemy from knowing. It's designed to keep the people from knowing.
Victor Marchetti knows firsthand just how far the government will go to keep its darkest secrets. For nearly 20 years, he worked at the CIA, specializing in clandestine operations. Later, he revealed many of the CIA's secrets in a book the company tried to stop.
When the people know what's going on, then that's when you have trouble if you're in a position of authority.
There is no dispute. The government can and does keep its secrets well. But why would it choose to draw the veil of secrecy around UFOs? What does the government know about UFOs that it doesn't want to share with the public?
A panel of experts convened by the CIA concluded that UFOs could be a threat.
According to Knapp, that panel convened in the early 1950s and laid out a top-secret plan to infiltrate and discredit UFO investigators. It came in response to the continuing uproar over the UFO crash near Roswell, New Mexico, a crash the military initially said was caused by a flying saucer. That claim was later retracted. Knapp and others believe that the pattern of cover-up and disinformation at Roswell became standard operating procedure. Beginning in 1953, these top-secret projects were allegedly given names: Saucer, Red Light, Grudge, Magnet, Snowbird, all with different functions, but all with the same agenda.
This is being visited by aliens from outer space. Obviously, the United States government would have a great interest in this.
But the only UFO project that the government has ever publicly acknowledged is Project Blue Book, which was in operation until 1969.
What they did was to investigate something that was a potential threat to our national security.
Colonel Robert Friend directed Project Blue Book for 4 years. In a rare interview, I asked him about the true purpose of the project.
Some people believe that Project Blue Book is was part of a massive government cover-up in order to avoid people getting too excited about UFOs.
Well, if it was, they were very successful because they covered it up from Me Too.
Do you believe that the Earth has ever been visited by craft and or beings from somewhere else?
I'd say no.
Those of us who really dug into it know that Blue Book was a cover.
Many ufologists believe Blue Book was instituted to deflect attention away from a super-secret task force called Majestic, or MJ-12. 12 experts who, illegally, bypassed Congress and reported directly to the White House about potential UFO threats.
Majestic 12 is the name given to a committee allegedly established under President Truman in 1947 following the apparent retrieval of an alien vehicle and bodies in the New Mexican desert.
We know about Majestic 12 because of this, a 1954 memo from Robert Cutler, Special Assistant to President Eisenhower, alerting General Nathan Twining to an upcoming MJ-12 meeting. The document is in the National Archives, but the government insists it is a fake.
The Majestic 12 documents, if genuine, are of course the most important ones ever leaked to the American public because they tell a simple story about the recovery of a crashed flying saucer, alien bodies, the establishment of a group, Operation Majestic 12, accountable only to the President of the United States, including an all-star cast of 12, the first 3 directors of Central Intelligence, first Secretary of Defense, outstanding scientists. If genuine, they're really super important.
And MJ-12 was only the domestic branch of a worldwide secret UFO investigation, according to former NATO Command Sergeant Major Bob Dean.
Frankly, it's probably the most sensitive document that NATO has ever been involved with.
Dean was assigned to NATO's Supreme Headquarters Command. He claims to have had NATO's highest security clearance and to have seen a NATO UFO report called The Assessment.
It was while I was there, from 1963 to 1967, that I learned about a NATO study that had been begun in 1961. And in 1964, when they published the study, and I had a chance to really look at it and study it, I have to be honest with you and tell you that that information literally changed my life. Because I knew for the first time that this subject was not fantasy, it wasn't myth, wasn't legend, it was real, it was true. They concluded, apparently the evidence was overwhelming, that the planet and the human race had apparently been under some kind of a survey or analysis or study for a very long time by several high-technology extraterrestrial civilizations.
The assessment has never been released to the public. However, the same language that Bob Dean claims to have read during his tenure at NATO is also contained within this document, an Air Force training manual obtained by Sightings. Here is an excerpt from the paragraph heading Alien Visitors.
The most stimulating theory for us is that the UFOs are material objects which are either manned or remote-controlled by beings who are alien to this planet.
To date, these intelligence agencies have denied any interest in UFOs beyond Project Blue Book. If this is true, why have thousands of pages of UFO documents been obtained through the Freedom of Information Act?
All those agencies, with the exception of the Air Force, denied any serious interest in UFO research. Suddenly they come out with thousands of pages of documents, and more have been released.
But page after page is virtually blacked out. What are they hiding?
Incontrovertible proof that there are people from outer space who are more intelligent than we are and different than we are from us and are here would undercut many of the institutions on which our civilization is built.
And to those who say that we have been visited, that the government knows we've been visited, and the government is covering it up for reasons we may not understand, you say what?
I'd say that it would be the best kept secret in the world because I certainly don't know anything about it.
People will deal with this. People can handle this. And it's time to tell them the truth.